Welcome everyone to lesson 2.1.5, how can I simplify the expression? Today we're going to be talking about rules of the road. How do I operate inside of a mathematics classroom when it comes to these expression maths, okay? We're going to use the algebra tiles today, and you're going to need to use your CPM ebook because it has the pre-built tools. So I suggest you go ahead and open up your ebook to lesson 215 and your math notebook open to lesson 215. Here we go. Which is greater, 58 or 62? No biggie, Mr. McCoy. 62 is obviously bigger. That question might seem easy because the numbers are ready to be compared. However, if you are asked which is greater, 2x plus 8 minus x minus 3 or 6 plus x plus 1, the answer is not so obvious. In today's lesson, you and your teammates will investigate how to compare two algebraic expressions and decide which one is greater. Today's lesson is about taking something that is complicated and simplify it. That's our goal, because in real life, oftentimes when things get complicated, we got to figure out how to simplify our life. So we're going to investigate these right now. But before we do, 2-46, what I want you to do is I want you to go to the E tool, and I want you to build 7x minus 3. And then I want you to take a minute, and I want you to practice building negative parentheses, negative 2x plus 6, close parentheses, and 3x. Just take a second and build them. Okay, pause the video and build them. Okay, now that you've practiced building those two, we are talking about comparing expressions. Okay, an expression is numbers, variables, but there is not an equal sign between them. Okay, it's not an equation, Matt. This is expression. I want you to notice on this problem, I have negative 3 tiles. That's why it says negative 3. Over here on the right-hand side, I have negative parentheses 2. Okay, and these are two expressions, negative 3 and negative 2. Okay, which one is greater? That's the question here in the center. Which one is greater? Is negative 3 greater or is negative 2 greater? Well, in this problem, we know that negative 2 is greater because it's closer to 0, it's less money that you owe someone, it is greater. So what we're going to do is look at 2-47. We're going to do that right now. I'm going to click on my e-tool. You don't need to go to your e-tool because we're going to do this one together. You'll notice in your notebook that you have 3 lines that you're going to write a sentence here at the end, but we're going to talk about these two expressions. And I need to think, what can I do to this really complicated math to help me figure out how to simplify this? Well, yesterday's lesson was what makes 0. Yesterday we talked about opposite tiles. Okay, let's find opposite tiles that make 0. Here's opposite tiles that make 0. Here's opposite tiles that make 0. These make 0. These make 0. And not only do opposite tiles in the same region make 0, but the same tile in the opposite region also makes 0. So let's go ahead and take these shapes, or these, and clear them off the board. I'm going to take these off the board. Take these off the board. Okay. Now, looks better already, right? Okay, let's think about this. I have stuff in the negative region. Here's negative parentheses 3. Here's negative parentheses negative 1. Ew. I don't like the negative region, right? I've got this double negative right here. What is a double negative? Well, a negative negative, two negatives actually make a positive. And so what I can do here is I've got to take this negative tile that's in the negative region, and I've got to move it up so that it's actually positive. Now, if I can do that for a double negative, how about we go ahead and move these three out of the negative region? Okay, so if they were positive in the negative region, they're now negative in the positive region. Okay, it's looking better because I hate double negatives. Those are just hard to think about. Okay, now at this point, we're going to talk about favorite numbers. My first favorite number is 3. So I have, if x were equal to 3, then 3 take away 3 would be 0. 3 plus 1 would be 4. Which is greater? That one. Okay, my next favorite number is 13. My first classroom was 513. I was married on the 13th of August. So let's do 13. 13 take away 3 is going to be 10. 13 plus 1 is 14, which is greater. Still 14, right? So I notice that this is always 4 less than this, or this side is 4 greater. So question, what if I notice, Mr. McCoy, that this x and this x kind of cancel each other out, right? Because whatever I do to this side, I'm also doing to this side. So what if I just pretended that they weren't there? What if I just kind of said, you know what? Let's take these off the board. Okay, now, I am left with -3 and 1. Which is greater? Well, positive is more than negative. And I want you to notice, what's the difference? A difference of 4. Same as when I had the x. Here's the sentence that I want you to write. We can simplify both sides of the expression mat, comma. We can simplify both sides of the expression mat, comma. We can simplify both sides of the expression mat, comma, as long as we use legal, L-E-G-A-L, moves. Legal moves. We can simplify both sides of the expression mat as long as we use legal moves. That's what today's lesson is all about. The legal moves. Okay? Today we are talking about the legal moves. And what you're going to notice is you're going to notice that we have 3 situations. Okay? And we're going to go through these situations, and let's go ahead and begin them now. Okay? As Carl simplified some algebraic expressions, he recorded his work on the diagrams below. Explain in writing what he did to each expression mat on the left to get the expression comparison mat on the right. So here's what I noticed. I noticed that Carl circled these. What are those called? Opposite tiles in the same region? Those are called 0 pairs. Notice, gone, gone, gone. And then he simplified it so that the 0 pairs were gone. I want you to write, a 0 pair is when the opposite tiles in the same region or the same tiles in the opposite regions are removed from a mat. You have 4 lines off to the right. Pause the video and write those down. All right, our next legal move. Let's look. Well, remember the double negative? Double negative? What did we do? We took those 2 negatives and we moved them to the top and they became positive. Okay, we took stuff out of the negative region and we moved it to the top. Okay, this legal move is called a flip. A flip is when tiles in the negative region are flipped to the top region and moved, the top is the positive, with the opposite sign showing. Notice that these two negative became these two positive. They are the opposite color in the opposite region. You flip the region, you flip the color. Pause and write. Okay, our third legal move. I want you to notice this is when we were doing kind of guess my number. When I said the number 3 and the number 3 and how it really had no effect on the overall outcome. Okay, this is a legal move that happens when you have matching tiles in the same region. Okay, this legal move is called a balance. A balance is when matching tiles are removed from matching regions on both mats. Matching tiles, matching regions, and you take them off. Pause and record. So let's use these legal moves. I want you to notice you have these mats written down in your notebook, but I don't want you to do them on paper, okay? Let's go back to the ebook. Let's go back to the ebook. This is great. Okay. E-tool. Bam. Already makes it. I love the e-tool. It is so useful. So what we're going to do is we're going to use our 3 legal moves in the order I gave them. Okay. Technically, you can go out of order, but I believe that this order is the best order. So let's find 0 pairs. 0, 0, 0, 0. 0, 0, 0. Now, I found them. You remove them. You pause the video. You remove them. For the record, if you're trying to go faster, if you highlight, that was click and drag, and it creates a rectangle. I'm going to remove these 3. I'm going to remove these 4. Oh, gotta go this way. And these 2. There we go. Okay, this is what your mat should look like. Missed one. Okay, now, that was my first legal move. I did a 0 pair and things got better already. That's why I like 0 pairs, because it makes things better. Next step. I need to flip stuff out of the negative region. I've got negative region, so let's flip. If it's negative in the negative, it's positive in the positive. Negative in the negative becomes positive in the positive. Okay. Third legal move. Balance. I've got a balance here. Matching tile, matching region. Matching tile, matching region. Matching tile, matching region. Gone. And what are we left with? Well, what I want you to record in your math notebook is, what do I have? What do I have here on my left? I have nothing. What do I have on the right? I have nothing. Which is greater? Neither. So what symbol do I use for neither? Is it less or greater than? Is it less than? No. These are equal to one another. You have 3 options: less than, equal to, or greater than. Okay? So here's what I want you to do. On your own, you are going to go to the ebook. You're going to click on this option. And you are going to do your legal moves. Find the 0 pairs. Do a flip. Did you get another 0 pair? Then 0 pair again. Balance. Okay? And at the end of it, you are going to write whatever expression you have left. This compares to this. And you're going to decide, well, is it equal to, like the previous problem? Is it less than? Or is it greater than? Okay, that's what I want to see. You can do this on the e-tool, but the goal of this is to tell me which is greater after you do your legal moves. Okay? Today's lesson is all about learning these 3 legal moves. 0 pairs, flip, and balance. We need to practice these 3 on an expression mat so that we can use these rules down the road. The more efficient we are with these rules of the road, the better we are at driving. So, thanks for coming for lesson 215. I'll see you tomorrow.